Maybe I start when waiting slides. So when Juha was calling me and asking opportunity to come and talk about VTT, what we are doing, photonics-related things for forestry at VTT, I was proposing him that I would love to give a challenge talk. Are you ready? And Juha said when I told that I'm dreaming about digital forestry as a real Finn with a lion shirt on. So I'm not giving a VTT talk, but I'm giving a talk that what we should do in Finland, and I have even some proposals. And but Juha said that it's your own responsibility, and I'm not going to say like Professor Puumalainen once said that when a Savonia person starts talking, the responsibility is on listener's side. So is there problems with the? A little bit. Huh? So I have to take my own computer. So when we have now heard nice talks about measurements and forestry things, and I have the memory stick, I think, in my pocket, so that if it helps. Okay. So I think that this we have heard already this digitalization and this industrial internet are now somehow disturbing our thoughts and what it can be in future. My background is that I was hired to VTT 95 as a research professor in optoelectronics, so I have this kind of measurement and optical measurements background. Then I have been working 18 years in research management positions at VTT, and just 1st of September I was stepping down from research director position in this knowledge-intensive products and services business area. It means all 700 researchers at VTT who are working with electronics, optics, and ICT-related topics. So that last 3 years I have been running the research strategy and portfolio in this space. So that's the reason for the view of the things, how I'm looking this. So VTT today is about 2,500 researchers. We are in 3 business areas, and this knowledge intensive products and services is one of those. We have also an area you are very familiar with this forestry related research at VTT. But I'm not going to talk about those. I'm looking from that digital world point of view. This is my strategy, and this means that sensing, we have heard many good talks about sensing, and the value of sensing is increasing. Some brave people are even talking about trillion sensors today. So with that fascination that iPhones have different kind of sensors and so on, and this meaning of sensing is increasing. And then another thing what is important for the ICT community is this future communication wireless. 5G is the hot topic. Nokia and these guys are investing heavily for 5G development, so they believe that on 2020s 5G is the ICT infrastructure, what we need for autonomous cars and this kind of things, that we can really do things in real time with 1 millisecond latency. Latency means that the information flow is less than 1 millisecond late, so that we are living real time. So we are very strong also in this field at VTT, but also in Finland. I think that we are also very strong in this field in Finland. But then comes the data. We have heard already something about big data, and actually I was drawing this 3 years ago, this slide. When I got the position to run this new big business area or research strategy. So from one meeting I came out and said that, oh hell, that we have all the technologies between silicon and cloud in this house. But how we use these for solutions? Electronics and ICT had never accustomed to cooperate very much. That was my duty, to put these guys to work together. And so today we are innovating a lot from silicon to cloud to build solutions for industrial internet, digital health, and hyper-connected society, but not alone. This is a so big thing that I have not yet met a company who can solve that whole value chain alone. And I think that it requires, and therefore I'm challenging you that we Finns should take seriously this forestry value chain and really work together to take the profits of that. We have in this electronics ICT technologies, we have very global spearheads, that kind of technology diamonds that we can apply for these solutions and take in use that we have the forefront technology to build these solutions, not only that what we can buy from shops today. So then if coming closer to forestry, so that I think that we all can share this one. We were brainstorming with people from Luke and or Metla those days and Pöyry 2-3 years ago and thinking that what this should look like if we are not only following how the wood fiber is moving here, if we look this from the cloud, edge of the cloud, from digital world. We have heard that there is a lot of forest data, there is different kind of digital portals for procurement. There is a lot of measurement data in harvesting phase, transportation, factory processing, products, recycling, services. And we can easily imagine and think that we had heard something that we can build on the evolution route, that kind of next steps and added value, advanced technologies and services, and we can even put the RFID each lock, and that way. By the way, coming to that, when watching this harvester thing and measuring that lock, did I understood right that the information of those measurements is used only for cutting the lock? Why you are not saving that data? Because you know all the navigation data and everything, and why you don't put that inside the RFID tag and hit that nail for each lock? And then you get the system in real time, because digitalization is not only that you change digital these things, but there comes opportunity for real-time operations. So you know when it happens that there is happening something, and how you can use this information for building new kind of changing your business models and how these transformations for use the information can change. So I think that what I have understood that everybody has their own digital timber trade service. Every harvester has their own database and so on. Honestly speaking, I would like to explode these walls between these silos. Otherwise, we are not being able to take all the advantage of this digitalization and real-time operations. It can be hard for someone to control things, but I think that we should think longer. I love generate disruptions because I see that way that it's the option for doing things better, and taking the advantage is not waiting the losses thinking. So if going towards this digital value chain, that what there is happening in other industries and in our world, that politicians and political level, this free flow of data is that kind of thing what is on the table, and that's the tendency how I see that this tendency is changing to be directives, for example. That kind of legislation that you have to change something. How if we talk about data, that there comes also a lot of challenges in this data connectivity. The systems talk different languages and so on, that how you make it, but these are technological problems. I think that those you can always solve. But think about what happens in banking industry today. There is a new European Payment Service Directive, PSD2. It comes effective 1st of January 2018. Banks have opened their customers, their account information to third parties. If you think that as a protection way, it means that, for example, in Scandinavian countries, the banks lose something like 2 billion earnings. But if you think positively, it may be a route to open plus 5 billion new businesses. And it's very much that how you want to tackle, do you want to take the opportunity or try to protect what you have? And these things create also that kind of technical challenges, like how you can really change money or pay bills so that it's safe and so on. This kind of blockchain technology was rising some months ago or 6 months ago as a hot topic, and it, for me, how I understand it's a new bookkeeping method. That, for example, if you pay your bill electronic way, you put that on cryptography tail, a key, together with that payment, so that nobody can open that key, so it's safe, nobody can change, and so on. So there is rising this kind of technological solutions to open these new ways, opening opportunities for new way of operation. So if thinking coming closer to our world and topic of today, that there is already a lot of things happening, that we have that kind of national service bus activity in Finland for these public services, so that this kind of architecture has been already developed and it's in a takeoff phase, that it's coming. How we could do it for our area, that we have also this kind of things for example, for bioeconomy needs and bioeconomy value chain needs. I see that there is missing some parts of this, but moving forward, there is this kind of European initiatives ongoing, like initiative activated by Germans, that we should need this kind of interconnected European network of data sources to facilitate business. So this is not yet directive, but there is that kind of political pressure to do something here. And I think that we should take this opportunity instead of that we are fighting against those ones. So then there is a lot of talk about platform economy, and it's also, you don't need to read those. That the idea was that it really looks like mesh, is what's now happening. That everybody has their own platforms, and there is IBMs and there is other ones with their platforms and so on. What I believe that these will commodize or commodities, so that these come, I think that after 5 years that there is only few existing ones. But what it means that you need this kind of platform that you can really build those solutions and services on those. That you need that kind of technology as a backbone, and you can build these solutions and services on top of those. And these guys are claiming that there will be huge transfer in business processes and also business models. And if coming back to that data thing, Janus Project, he's a multi-entrepreneur from Silicon Valley, I think that billionaire, and in December in one Trillion Sensor conference he was publicly saying that we Silicon Valley entrepreneurs have came to that kind of conclusion that 2025, 60 to 90% of profits of global business is done by data. 60 to 90% of profits. If part of that is true, it will change a lot of business models and these value chains. Of course, everybody wants part of that profit area. What you do with that data? How you use that new next generation money. And I think that you need that kind of platform that you can play in that game. Together with these Pöyry and Luke guys, we were taking the front-end part, for example, from this digitalization or this value chain and gave a name from puusta pilveen, thinking from that cloud point of view that what could be the forest owner's net bank for forest property, that this kind of information in principle you can get already today if you put this together. And if you have this service bus too, or service platform too. There is a lot of data available, but not yet used altogether. That how I understood also from several talks today. There is many kind of public-private partnerships in Europe and being built, and one of the newest one is called Big Data public-private contracted public-private partnership. And they opened a call last fall for that kind of lighthouse projects, big data lighthouse projects. And we were very active in this space and wanted to be drivers to build this kind of, especially forestry value chain based project. In the beginning, some of the big players of forestry value chain were even a little bit interested. But the final answer was that, we play in our own PPPs. We don't want to come to work in big data PPPs. We have there smaller Finnish players in this one. So this project starts 1st January. It's a 16 million euros project. And there is a agriculture value chain, there is a fishery value chain, and there is a forestry value chain. And if you are interested to cooperate in these kind of things, take contact with Kai Södergaard. He's coordinating from VTT side this project. But in Europe, there is now train running. And my opinion is, as a Finn, that we should not waste that opportunity, that we should put things together and be strong and work together, that we are serious contributor in this forestry value chain further development. What the opportunity for Finland? So as I mentioned already, this 5G is the ICT infrastructure backbone for 2020s. So we are building, we have already test networks in Oulu and Espoo area today. We are building there that kind of application development infrastructure for industrial internet on top of 5G. So this is the future generation solutions, what we are preparing and piloting. There's also many other applications. There is also the big data analytics processing capabilities integrated. And this kind of application development infrastructure we are building, there is going to be pilot in electronics production, in that kind of smart buildings, and also that kind of smart manufacturing. I would say that there is space for bioeconomy or forestry value chain pilot and demonstrator. We have the infrastructure plans there, and it needs only those key players to join the team. So when I'm looking from Finnish point of view, we have a lot of these technological things, excellencies in measurement, sensing, connectivity, digital data sources, efficient processes, new innovations. I'm asking why these things are we are doing on plastics. What do you think about? So then continuing a little bit these technology opportunities. For example, we need a lot of analytics and measurement data that this kind of spectrometers, usually these have been shoebox size instruments, but nowadays these are that kind of matchboxes or even smaller ones. These can be handheld, mobile phone integrated in future, offering again consumers or us citizens to be part of these digital value chains, also in forestry. We have been developing tens of years together with Metso, for example, instrumentation, optical instrumentation for this. I think that this area we have very strong in Finland. We are also working with future technologies, for example, try to solve that kind of problem that could a harvester see really the trees where there is branches and so on. And this kind of, when using these top laser finding technologies, what we have available in Finland, you can really go deep also in this space to build also that kind of front edge technology solutions. We have been working 15 years with printed electronics, and paper industry was very interested in the beginning. After 5 years, they lost their interest, and now there's rising the business. But this is a part of that kind of thinking that we want to integrate ICT, information and communication technology, to be part of our surroundings. That my dream is that I don't need to carry mobile phones or this kind of machines or terminals in my hands, that these surroundings know what kind of services I like, what I need. That I'm not looking for that, because young kids cannot anymore stay straight when they are looking for their mobile smartphones and all days long. So that here is the area where we need really wood-based, wood fiber-based solutions, and it's the opportunity in Finland, I think so. We have also tools. We have been working with this kind of HILA program. The reason for this program was 2014, when there was 1,000 engineers laid out from old Nokia, so Broadcom and Microsoft, so that we had to try to innovate a faster way to build solutions or take advantage of research results to build revenue. And this is also one opportunity for the audience, that I'm ready to start discussing that could we create that kind of finished forestry value chain, very digitally driven project case, and it's scalable, globally scalable business opportunity. We have this kind of tool to make these kind of things operative and running. Finally, conclusions. I was thinking seriously what I dare to say, but thinking that in addition to this, what we have accustomed, this wood fiber flow, that we should pay also attention to this data flow. If we believe a little bit that the profits of future business is done by data, what it means for us, how we build this added value using this digitalization, and especially the profits. Then if thinking this, that I already mentioned that I would love to, I have seen also in other industries that this silo thinking is some kind of protecting ourselves from that world. And I think that you have to change mindset, that there is more opportunities. And I think that think digitalization, not only digital, but think it also real time. I think that then it opens your minds that what it could be profiting for us. I think that we need this kind of finished forestry service bus. That everybody who wants can join that and bring their data, what they want to keep and share with other ones, or ask that they pay something if this is so valuable that there is a price for that. By the way, 2-3 years ago, Google was sending emails that it's only $99 that if you send your blood sample that they read your genomic data. And that was opening my eyes that I should pay $99 that Google get my genomic data. That cannot be the way it works. And I think that they paid a little bit later $55 million from genetic data of 3,000 people. So that data has there is some example that data has value. Then this business model transformation, in this, how I see this digital world, that very often it's this kind of game that the winner takes all or almost all. It's a scary thing thinking, but if thinking that SoftBank was paying 500 million euros or dollars from Supercell 3 years ago, is it 6 months ago, Tencent was paying to SoftBank $6.5 billion, Supercell. There's 190 people in that company. So that these digital values are very difficult to estimate when we think with traditional thinking. Then, not forgetting to say this, that we have extremely good technology backbone and infrastructure here in Finland, so that we have really an opportunity to be strong players in this industrial internet solutions. Germany is talking very much about Industry 4.0, but they have not that ICT technology what we have. So I would like to propose that we start working towards this kind of pilot case, that forestry value chain industrial internet pilot tomorrow. I would like to thank Esa Sipilä and Antti Asikainen and colleagues from VTT. We have had fun, I can guarantee for you. And we continue this thing, and we are open for cooperation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Harri, very much for this insightful presentation. Data is new oil, as they say, and you really proved that to be correct. The future business opportunities, somehow they all related to data, to big data or small data or personal data, but data is the key factor here. So we all in wood industry, forestry industry, we must embrace this new technology, this new world, digitalization, and find the new opportunities as you presented to benefit in the future. Okay, questions for Harri. You have all been stunned by his presentation.
Okay, I can honestly say that my motivation for this talk was that I could disturb you that much that tonight when you go to bed you have something to think about.
Yeah, but even before you go to bed, please talk about these issues during the evening. We have some program still together, and it's a good time to answer, for example, to your challenge to work together and to produce something new. You had a question.
Yeah, maybe a comment. Markku Heino from Finland. Thank you, Harri, for very good talk and motivating, inspiring talk. Fully agree with you, and I think it's mostly about open innovation. People talk a lot about it. It's about digitalization, and I think data is as well a tool, like some other assets, but it's about the mindset more. How people dare to share, really, companies, making a new way to kind of innovation collaboration, starting, let's say, to share more and really do things more. So this is too much talk. It doesn't happen today, but we are, for example, helping many players to do that together, and so I'm available to discuss more this evening as well. How to build some new projects together.
Yeah, exactly. Keywords were open innovation and dare to share ideas and work and good spirit. It's about mindset, all about mindset.
So, which you see is bigger bottleneck? How to get the data or how to use it in a profitable way? For example, if we have good tag for every woodlot, is it bigger challenge to have the tags there, or is it bigger challenge to use the data in profitable way from each lot?
Can you rephrase the question first?
I think that it's very difficult to give a complete answer, but I think that there comes challenges that I think that there is already what we heard from the NASA talk and so on. There is a lot of data available. What is the availability of that data, for example? In some cases, I'm sure it's not available. There may be military or that kind of reasons why it's not given. But what is that collection of data in digital form, you can get a lot of imaging data and that kind of. Then if your business needs that real time, I heard one industrial speaker, he said that his experience is that 60 of measurement data is losing its meaning in 50 milliseconds. So that you should have also the processing capability that you really can, and it means that you cannot transfer that to cloud and process there and send back. That this ICT paradigm is changing to that so-called edge, close to that place where you create the data and where you measure the data, that you have to have the capabilities to make the signal processing, or you have smart algorithms that you can make the analytics there. So I think that the key thing is this analytics, that where you need mathematics and these kind of guys is those building those algorithms. I think that there is that value. If I have the best algorithms to make best decisions, what to do, I have the joker cards in my hand. And there is coming that kind of solutions. I'm sure that next year there is coming interesting solutions visible also to others, that there is already happen in industry, this kind of real industrial internet solutions. And think what means that if your competitor is working in real time.
So interesting part for me is that you don't need anymore to collect the data. The data collects itself. The data accumulates automatically, because all these systems we are running, they are based on information technology. They create all kinds of files and logs and store the data automatically. So the question is, who owns the data? What terms do you have to obey to use it from one instance to another? And what kind of ideas you have, how to use it in new ways, new innovative ways.
I was thinking when listening Arbonaut talk and also John Deere's talk, that why Arbonaut is sending still people to forest and measure, share the data together with John Deere. They have a lot of measurement data from the logs.
Yeah. Any more questions or ideas, thoughts you would like to share? Dare to share. Okay, maybe later during the evening.
Thank you very much.
Please thank you.